Hey guys, I'm Patrick Hall.
And I'm Chelsey Rogers.
And a few days ago, I did a photo shoot out in Charleston in the snow. I got incredibly sick. I looked like death.
Wow.
So today, I'm gonna put Chelsey to work. And lately, what have you been doing? You've been colorizing photos?
Yeah, it's one of my hobbies. I love colorizing black and white photos.
It's kind of like coloring your hair?
Yeah.
Similar concept.
You know.
So what I have done is I've desaturated one of the photos that I took the other day. Chelsey has not seen this picture yet.
I have not.
I'm gonna give it to her, and it's kind of a challenge. I wanna see if you can make this image look as good as it looked when I took it.
I think I can make it look better.
Well, let's challenge accepted.
Challenge accepted. Let's do this. Okay, guys, we're going to go ahead and get started with this challenge issued by Patrick. Again, this is a snow photo. It snowed for the first time in 10 years in Charleston, and I can think of a billion other fun things I would love to do right now. But I am destined to prove Patrick wrong that I can recolor this photo better even than the D850 took it. Also, follow along. You can download this image in the article, and we're going to be choosing 3 winners to win an Fstoppers tutorial for the best recolor. Usually with older black and white images, you would want to spend some time cloning out and healing some of the dust and scratches, maybe even replacing missing or damaged parts. But since this was taken with the Nikon D850, we're ready to go straight into the recolor. There are a million different ways to skin a cat, so this method might not be one you've seen before, but this is the way I like to do it. And usually I like to use 3 different blend modes. I like to use color, soft light, or overlay, and it all depends on the color and how it you have to kind of feel it out and see what works best for it. So we'll go ahead and start with a new layer. And what I like to start on first is actually the skin, because that tends to be the trickiest part. So you'll want to go ahead and pick a color. For this skin color, I've already kind of decided I like this color. It's kind of like a flesh tone. So what we'll do is we'll use the brush tool, come over here to your blend mode, and I'm going to go ahead and start with color just to see what that looks like. And basically all you're going to do is just start painting it on. You're going to want to avoid the eyes and the lips, but if you do go over the lips or eyes, it's easy to go ahead and make a mask and fix those spots that you colored. So even if it's like that, you can create a mask, come back in, and clean up the edges. Some people actually like to go in and use magic wand, and that is definitely a way you can do it, but I grew up painting, so I kind of like this method better. It feels more like you're painting. So right now what I'm doing is I'm painting with black on the mask so that it hides, but then as you can see, I've kind of missed some spots up here so I can go back in. And this is kind of the non-destructive way of editing, because the only thing destructive in this video is my drinking habit. Cheers. Now there are going to be some parts of this video that are very detail oriented and are going to take a lot of time. So what I'm going to do is speed up the video so you guys don't have to sit through and watch me take my time on this. So as we can see, I'm on the color blend mode, and you'll be able to tell, like, overlay, that looks kind of crazy. Soft lights doesn't really look like a flesh tone, so color is really going to work here. Now when it comes to organizing my files, because this is going to take a lot of layers, what I like to do is open up the color picker, copy this number here, and then come over to your layer, name your layer, this is face, and then I'm going to paste that code so that if I have to come back and edit it later, then I know what color I used. It also comes in handy when you start layering colors on top of each other so that you can stay within the same color family tone. So for instance, you can see that the skin tone still looks kind of orange. It's not very natural. So what I would actually do is maybe start adding some reds, so we can go over here and find within this same color tone, like here's maybe a little bit more of a red that we would put as a highlight. Also though, I would save that on another layer. Again, we don't want to have a destructive editing flow. We'll go ahead and put that on the color blending mode. And you can see this is kind of, you know, this looks a little crazy right now, but we'll tone it down with the opacity blend. Also, lips tend to be pretty pink. But this is kind of, I guess, just giving him a little bit more blood, if you will. And we'll come back and fix his lips in a second. So as you can see, this pink kind of gives him a little bit more life, a little bit more color variation like we see in regular human skin. Usually what I would like to do when I'm starting an image is just work with the base colors, but right now I want to teach you all the concepts that are behind this. It's actually a very simple process, and it's just kind of repeating the same thing over and over again with the layers and blend modes. One thing that you should keep in mind though is even though it's a black and white image and there may be elements in the image that are black or white, you still actually want to go over those elements with a color because it will make it look way more realistic, and a lot of times black and white is actually a gray color. So if something's black, you're going to want to go over it with black, and if something's white, you'll want to go over it with white. So for instance, one thing, since it's in the snow, that we would want to do is actually make this snow white. What we'll do is we'll go ahead and create a new layer for the snow, grab your brush tool selected with white, change your blend mode to soft light, and go ahead and just start painting over the snow. I'm just going to go ahead and speed up this process here. I will refine this later on, but as you can see, the snow already looks more like snow. There's a color to it, there's a brightness to it. Again, I'm going to mask some of this stuff out, so around these areas where I might have gone over his hat, we'll go back and clean that up later, but I just wanted to show you all the concept behind it, that even though the snow in the picture is white, you still want to color over it. So this is just one example of where the soft light blending mode might work best. Now I might also use soft light for the trees because they look pretty muted, so if we'll go ahead and create a new layer for the trees, pick out a nice brown color somewhere in here, and we'll go ahead and change our mode to soft light. Zoom in a little bit so we can see where we're painting, and paint on the trees here. Now that's a pretty brown. Again, I'll clean up. I know I'm drawing like a kindergartner at the moment. Just teaching you all the basic examples of this. So I think that the tree looks pretty good in soft light. We can shuffle through, see what each one does. Overlay, that's kind of overkill in my opinion. And then when it comes to color on darker, it tends to lighten it too much. So soft light is going to keep it pretty like a darker muted tone that I think works well when it comes to coloring trees or objects in the background. Now another area that I'm probably going to use brown is his hair. I've never met this man before. I have no idea if he's got, you know, green hair like I do, but I'm pretty sure, and most of the time you can tell, if it's lighter, it's most likely blonde. If it's darker, it's most likely brown or black. So I'm going to go ahead and say it's brown. I'm going to find another color brown, maybe a little bit more chocolate color here. Hit OK. Create a new layer. The only thing is I'm not sure that soft light's going to work. Let's go ahead and try it though. Okay. Go ahead and paint this on. It's looking pretty decent. Looks like brown hair. Again, you can use a different brush size. I'm just kind of go ahead and mask this out. Now that looks okay. It's a bit intense. And again, this all kind of looks a little funny because base colors when you're first starting out, they are going to be pretty vivid, and that's when you'll have to go back and add detail later. But I don't think that this soft light is working. Let's try the opacity. It's kind of making it a little bit more gray. Let's go ahead and experiment and see what overlay looks like. Okay, that's darker. But with the opacity down, you're still keeping that kind of more realistic brown color. At least to me, it looks a little bit better. So as you can see, this is all kind of subjective and it's a lot of fun. You can experiment with different layers, changing layer opacities, and then the blend modes of color, soft light, and overlay. So even though I only typically use these 3 blending modes, feel free to experiment and use the different blending modes that Photoshop offers. So these are basically the concepts that you'll have to use when recoloring the image. Now this image, looking at it, it's probably going to take me about 2 hours, and I'm not going to make you sit through all of that. So let me go ahead and finish this, and then I'll show you my final result. Okay guys, well this is my final image. It took me a little over 2 hours, but I'm going to go ahead and walk you through some of the layers that I had. And as you can see, I worked on quite a few layers. So we went from the black and white image that Patrick shot to this recolored version. Now I still haven't seen Patrick's image, so I'm eager to see what he thinks about it. Now, just to show you how detailed you can be in certain areas, let me show you what I've done with the face. And even I can go into more details on this, but we'll go ahead and cut off these layers so you can see what happened. So we started off like this. This was my first layer for the face, so that kind of orange color. We added color to the lips. Again, lips are a different color than the rest of your skin, usually a little bit more pink. I added some more color that kind of acted as a fill and a highlight. It's not actually like dodging and burning, but just adding colors and how they interact with the other layers are going to give you more definition. Then what I did is I went ahead and added an overall kind of more pinky flesh tone so that he looked more alive. I then added some more color on the side of his neck, the bridge of his nose, and then right here on top of his eye. And I used the soft light blend mode for that. And that just, again, it fakes a highlight. It kind of makes it look more realistic as far as skin color goes. Now, for the rest of the image, again, I had not seen Patrick's original image. So this was kind of me having fun. He's wearing this crazy ski suit from the 90s, I'm guessing. And so I thought, you know what are some kind of fun 90s colors to use? And this tone to me just said blue. And I was going to go with maybe a green on his sleeve, but I thought, we'll go with a blue to kind of complement that. I also added some blue in his gloves and then decided to kind of give him more of a pop of a color with this red piece here. Now, if we go ahead and turn these layers off, you can see the reason why I chose that darker blue is because the tone of this jumpsuit is a darker tone. Here, it's a lighter tone. So it's a pretty safe bet that this would be a dark color. So that's why I chose this darker blue, and that lighter color, I chose a lighter blue. So for the skis, I decided to use an orange color because I thought it would complement his ski suit. I did a couple layers with the skis. I did a lighter orange with a more orange pop on some areas. I then added this color here to make these boot, I don't even know what the heck those things are called, but this area here, we colored it kind of same orange family so it would match, and then also went ahead and added some more black detail in there to really make it pop. So as you can see, I've been kind of subjective with my color choices, and I'm really excited to see what Patrick thinks about my edit and compare our images together. Now, if you're a nerd and want to learn even more about recolorizing images, just follow the link below and there's a YouTube video that goes far more in depth than what I've done. Also, if you want to look for some more practice images, there are some really great subreddits and you can find those in the link below as well. Okay, now I'm going to go find Patrick and see what he has to say about my recolor.
So, you got the image done?
I got it done. This is the first time Patrick's going to see my image. I still have not seen his yet, so...
I have just woken up and I'm on a lot of NyQuil, so let's see.
Hopefully that helps my chances.
Alright, so I know this must be yours because the skis are orange, but that looks pretty good. Like, I wouldn't see that and think that that wasn't a colored image, but we can go left and right here. So let me scroll here to the left and bring up my image.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, that's quite different, but I have to say, like, they both look, the biggest difference to me is kind of the hair. I can see the frosting in his hair and stuff, and obviously the colors are different, but you would have no way to know what this ridiculous tracksuit looked like. But
I could have added probably quite a bit more red tones to his face. I should have taken into account that he's outside, he's cold. His skin might have been a little bit more red.
Maybe your skin looks better than mine. I don't know. I like the red jacket though. Like, what's kind of cool about this, that I know you're taking a black and white image and adding color to it, but and I haven't seen what you've done, but this is also going to be really useful if you just want to change color. So I feel like his jacket being red actually kind of looks more outdoorsy. Like, that's kind of cool looking. So I guess I could take these tips and change the colors in my photos as well. Yeah,
it's a little bit different, but it's pretty much the same concept. So
very impressive. I'm shocked it looked this good.
Well, thank you.
So I guess I've seen this process done a lot on Reddit and online. People have done this with a lot of old photos. I think it's kind of interesting to do it with a modern image to show, you know, just how to go through the process.
It was a fun challenge. And then also, challenge for you all, if you all want to follow along and edit your own image, you can find that online. And remember, we are giving away 3 free tutorials to the top 3 that the office is going to choose.
So you should make his clothes look really cool if you want to win.
Super cool.
All right, cool. Well, yeah, so download the files below, head over to fstoppers.com, and this is part of our 30 for 30. So for the whole month of January, we're producing a video every single day.
Every day.
This is Chelsey's first one. We've done a bunch in the office, and we're going to continue to do more. So make sure you subscribe to our channel below. Head over to fstoppers.com for more video content, and also check out the fstoppers.com/store, where you can find a bunch of tutorials just like this.
Yep. Thanks for watching.
I'm going to go take some more NyQuil.